I feel like I'm having a deja vu. I'm pretty sure I've already seen this, and I didn't like it. And that should be on WWE's creative priority list. The Great One must like it. But seriously, watching WWE after WrestleMania is really tough. But I gotta give it to the WWE, man. I was truly shocked during this episode of Raw. When Mason and Boner got unmasked, I couldn't believe my eyes. It's Dominik Dijakovic! It's the same guy! It's the same guy from NXT! Did you guys know this?
I hear voices in my head.
Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Not So Greatness of Raw. WWE, wrestling in general after WrestleMania is always gonna be tough, especially with no audience. Maybe it's because we got used to the audience during that one night, we got spoiled, and now we gotta watch WWE being in the Thunderdome. Also, bad stories doesn't help either. Let's be honest, people, none of the WWE stories currently are interesting. Are you guys really excited about Charlotte Flair being back? I didn't even realize she was gone. I mean, maybe it's just us not being excited about wrestling at the moment, and I don't want to sound like a dick, but this episode of Raw was, to me personally, barely watchable. I really didn't care. At least they unmasked the Boner. I mean, that's great, right? They kind of fixed their careers, possibly. And I gotta say, this dude has the look. Like, I can see as a potential main eventer in the WWE, unless he decides to be a sex toy again, which by then I'll give up. When we get these kind of Monday Night Raws, I don't want to make this into a professional review. Let's make fun of it. Let's have some fun. When we have a bad episode, at least you have your boy, your uncle, the tribal forehead, the forehead of the table, cracking some jokes, having fun, and shitting on WWE sometimes. Probably unnecessary, I don't know, but maybe that's why you guys are watching me, because I'm not taking it too seriously. The channel lately is doing absolutely amazing. Like, honestly, dude, yesterday I almost got emotional. Muchas gracias, thank you, spasiba, ačiū everyone. It means a lot to me. During the opening of the show, Drew McIntyre accused MVP of hiring Mace and Boner to attack him last week on Raw. MVP says that it's not true, and the Hurt Business have nothing to do with Retribution. It's just a coincidence. And Drew McIntyre says, okay, maybe I believe you. He was about to attack MVP, but then we got Boner and Mason. They attacked Drew McIntyre and walked away. So yeah, they're definitely not working with MVP at all. Just a big misunderstanding, just a big coincidence. Also, Raw is great and Ryback is very intelligent. The only positive about this story is that the Boners are getting some kind of a push and perhaps are getting fixed. That is great. That is what I do appreciate. Both have the look. Dominik Dijakovic is a great wrestler. The other dude looks great. I never seen him in the ring. So I'm happy about that, but the story itself, it's really boring. I really don't want to see it. Like I've said, wrestling after WrestleMania is really tough. Drew McIntyre stops Adam Pearce backstage and says he wants to face both Boner and Mace in a handicap match. Adam Pearce wants him to find a tag team partner, but I'm Drew McIntyre, I don't need a tag team partner. Oh boy, am I excited for this match. I'm getting last week's flashbacks. We see Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander with a jobber entrance, and of course they faced Viking Raiders, and we saw just a repeat of last week, the exact same thing, in which again the Viking Raiders won the match because of course they did. What is the point? Anything else, like literally anything, could have been better. The Viking Raiders versus Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. That would be better because we haven't seen that. I'm gonna be honest, if I wasn't a wrestling YouTuber, I would be taking a big break right now. Randy Orton is giving an interview about The Fiend, saying that The Fiend will never be seen again. We see Matt Riddle making jokes about snakes and singing Randy Orton's theme song, basically being annoying to Randy, and Randy Orton later on says he wants to face the new kid, the blonde kid. I don't know his name, I want to face him in the ring. So that was actually pretty entertaining. That was actually quite funny to me. Charlotte Flair. Let's talk about Charlotte Flair. Man, I don't know what to say. Seems like Raw Women's Championships division is basically Charlotte, Asuka, and Rhea Ripley right now. We are later getting Asuka versus Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte says, I'm gonna beat you because I broke your undefeated streak at WrestleMania. Let me remind you, Rhea Ripley doesn't believe that Charlotte can beat Asuka, whatever. This shit sucks. I don't care. Why are WWE treating Charlotte Flair as the main focus of the show? Nothing against Charlotte, I actually like her, but I'm kinda tired of her. She didn't change her character ever, and now she's being the main focus, ending shows. For example, this week she actually closed the show, and it was quite underwhelming. We saw Riddle vs Randy Orton, which was actually quite fun because this is a match we never seen before. Makes you wonder why wasn't this in the main event. Let me ask you, I could be wrong right here. Didn't they announce Randy Orton versus Braun Strowman and they promoted for like a week? Why didn't we get this match? Not that I'm crazy about it, but still. So this was okay in my opinion, and surprisingly Matt Riddle stole this one. He won the match, and that was a bit of a shocker. Didn't really hurt Randy Orton's character or his reputation or whatever momentum, because it was a roll-up, and I'm just honestly glad seeing Randy Orton wrestling people. Not Alexa Bliss, Fiend, the puppets and stuff, you know. I'm actually very happy seeing Randy Orton without any fire around the ring. Adam Pearce wants Sheamus to have an open challenge for the United States Championship. Sheamus is not so sure. So later during the show we saw Sheamus saying, you know what fella, I might have a United States Championship open challenge. I might not. We saw Humberto Carrillo, and of course Sheamus is not gonna have the United States Championship open challenge. He's not going to, because nobody deserves it. Humberto looks great though. I like the muscles. Great job. Go back to the 24/7 championship segments now, boy. We saw Nia Jax, Chandler, Bazel versus Lana and Naomi, and during this we saw Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, and they showed replays of Raw, which is a very bad idea in the first place. Imagine watching Raw and then watching replays of Raw. That's like getting out of prison. Would you mind repeating that? Sir, would you mind repeating the diarrhea? Naomi and Lana won this match, and the Shayna Baszler versus Nia Jax rivalry is coming because lately we've seen a lot of miscommunications between these two. Not a match I'm desperately waiting for. The only desperate thing when it comes to Nia Jax is her being desperate by ignoring my challenge. Yes, she's being desperate, not me, by challenging her every week. This match needs to happen, Nia, and it freaking will. The only reason I would like to see Shayna Baszler versus Nia Jax is because Shayna Baszler could win and move on to being a main eventer right where she belongs. We saw Miz TV, and do I miss this Miz, man, just being an ass. They're being so over the top, just kissing in the ring and being so annoying. Look how successful we are. That's what made 2016 Miz so special. Where was Morrison though? I really hope this is going to turn into a rivalry. We saw Damien Priest. Damien Priest doesn't like the champagne. Maurice challenges Damien Priest into a match. Of course, The Miz has to face Damien Priest. Great job, honey. We saw Elias versus Kofi Kingston. Lovely stuff. The only highlight was Xavier was with a guitar. That was kind of funny. Elias won the match against the former WWE champion Kofi Kingston. Bravo. We saw Alexa Bliss talking about Lily. Great Photoshop skills by the WWE. We actually saw Lily in Alexa Bliss childhood photos. And Alexa said that Lily actually controlled her when she was a child. I mean, if this is your cup of coffee, good, you know, it wasn't really bad. I'm just really sick and tired of this whole thing. Just me being honest. If this is going to turn into some kind of a debut from another wrestler, great. If this is just going to be this over and over again, I've given up a long ass time ago. I don't want to see it anymore. Of course, we saw a 2-on-1 handicap match, T-Bar and Mace versus Drew McIntyre, and this was pretty obvious, you know, it's a 2-on-1 match, but it ends in no contest. In by disqualification actually. Drew McIntyre won, but then we saw Braun Strowman. Choo-choo, the Strowman Express. Like I've said many times, Mama told me I can be anything, so I'ma train. This turned into a 2-on-2 match, a tag team match, as you say. And whatever, who gives a crap, really? Who honestly gives a single crap about this? I'm just being honest, dude. I'm not trying to be a dick, just saying I couldn't care less. Now, the only positive thing is, by disqualification, T-Bar and Mace won. And Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre removed their masks, so that's pretty great. They have the look, definitely. I appreciate that, and like I've said, I hope they're getting some kind of a push, but hopefully this story is gonna be a bit more entertaining. So far, I really can't stand it. I don't care. I really don't give a crap. And by the way, WWE treating like Bobby Lashley needs some kind of backup. Backup from 2 7-foot tall guys. I don't think that's what we should get. I think Bobby Lashley should be dominant and shouldn't be scared of Drew McIntyre. We saw Damien Priest versus The Miz. Last week The Miz won because of Maurice. This week Damien Priest won. So that's it. Of course we saw Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. Now that wasn't a bad match. I don't know what it is about Charlotte Flair, she kinda looks different. Anyway, this was an okay match. Charlotte Flair was about to win with the figure 4, but we got Rhea Ripley interrupting and Asuka won the match with some kind of a roll-up or whatever. So, I mean, the star power is pretty okay. Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, and Asuka. It's just that every woman is pretty much ruined. Asuka was one of the worst Raw Women's Champions in history, possibly the worst one. Charlotte Flair, the same character for years. People are sick of her. Rhea Ripley lost all of her momentum, mystique, and excitement after WrestleMania 36. Back then, she was kinda still special. Nowadays, every other girl in the WWE is this punk rock girl, and I wish she never got back to NXT. Now, since Charlotte Flair lost, she doesn't appreciate that. She decided to beat the living crap out of the referee. Like, honestly, that went for like good 2 minutes, I'm pretty sure. She beaten the living crap out of that referee, and she's getting fined, of course. By the way, YouTube, this is scripted, this is not real. Last time I talked about WWE Superstars vs. Referees, my video got demonetized because YouTube thought that it's real. It's not. It's still wrestling. It's still worked. Work in wrestling means that it's not actually real. The hits by Charlotte Flair were not real. The referee is actually in real life okay. He's fine. You know? So this video, make sure it's green. Thank you very much. It's not real. I mean, wrestling's real, but not in that way. It's as if Randy Orton is hitting John Cena. You know John Cena? You know, Cena, you can see me, that guy? Yeah. Wrestling. WWE. They're not actually hitting each other. It's sports. So when they do the same thing to a referee, it's kinda the same. So thank you for understanding. Anyway, that was your episode of Monday Night Raw. Charlotte Flair is getting fined by the WWE in kayfabe, of course. I don't know. Where's this leading? Is this the new Charlotte Flair? The more ruthless Charlotte Flair that doesn't give a crap? Wow, I'm so excited. Thank you for watching The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.